Hey everyone, for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Jock. I'm the founder of Mobble. Great to see some faces from our last few webinars here as well, with Farmo, and lots of new faces too. So welcome everyone. Now, Mobble's whole reason for being is to provide a place for farmers like you to manage your data, record keeping, animal health, mapping, and more. We don't claim to do everything. That's not our aim, but what we do is simple and effective, and giving you more time back in your day, and putting more time towards the more areas of the farming business that you're passionate about. So that's me and that's Mobble. So quick housekeeping. We put everyone on mute for now, to eliminate the background noise and disruptions. So if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. We'll get to them in a bit later. We'll aim to keep this around 40 to 45 minutes maximum, and we'll get stuck into it. So the agenda is going to be, I'll do a general Mobble demo, and I'll cover a few of the questions that some of you have left in the chat, like as you requested to go on the webinar. A few questions were left, so I'll go through them as well. Mobble demo, deep dive into mapping. Inventory has been a common question, how to make the most out of that. Livestock reconciliation, and how to switch Mobble from another provider as well, has been requested. And we'll just open it up for Q&A. And I'll also share a few tidbits for what's next as well, like things we're working on. So some exciting things in the works, and coming into November, I think we'll have a fair few exciting releases coming up too. So I'll touch on that towards the end. All right, kick things off. I'm going to start with a demo. I'm going to share my family farms operation, which is in North Central Victoria, near Avenel. Now, sorry for the cattle people. This is very much a sheep operation. We have a few cows, but this is a sheep operation, so that's what we'll be showing today. And I'm going to kick things off with the web app. So Mobble has two applications. One's the mobile phone for out in the paddock. It works completely offline. And there's also the web application, which is this one that I'm going to demo with you today. And that's more of your reporting, a bigger screen, but it does very much the same things as the mobile version. So I'll show you the web, and know most of the things we do in the web can be done in the mobile, except for some of the reporting around livestock reconciliation and some of the graphs. I'll kick things off on the map page. So yeah, this is the family farm on the edge of the Hume Highway in Victoria. And there's three sort of main areas of Mobble. So we're recording information on your livestock, your mobs, on your paddocks, and then also on the property as a whole. The map page is probably the most interactive, and we can do most things from here. And so a few things that we'll cover. So recording information on livestock. So obviously with the livestock here, to get started with Mobble, we're adding in our paddocks, we're adding in our livestock, and you should end up with a nice layout like this. Doesn't take too long to map it in and put it in. And once all the information is in there, it's really easy to keep up to date, because you'll invite all your team members to it, your family members, your team members, and everyone has access, and they can update records on the fly. So once it's in there, easy to update and keep things moving along. Now with the livestock records, really easy to move livestock around. So you're picking up and dragging them to the next paddock. We're recording a bunch of different things on livestock. So we select the livestock, some mob, and you can select it again. You can see all the different things we can do. We're doing a full livestock rec, so you can add sales, you can add purchases, you can add natural increases, report casualties. So that's all the information here for your livestock rec. Really easy to do this sort of stuff out in the paddock. So you can report a casualty and give it a reason. So a loss, one head, give it a reason if you like, and that'll just take that head of Murray Greys and put it in our reports and remove it from this mob. So yeah, really easy to do out in the fly in the paddock. We're also covering a bunch of compliance records on your livestock as well. So you can see these red dots on these young ewes out here. That means they're in withhold at the moment. So if I select these ewes, I have to look at the view mob and view the information here. It'll give me a complete history of this mob, everything that's ever happened to it, for forever. And you can see here there's been a fly treatment, a drench action, and that's put a withholding period over the mob. And that'll come off, and that'll automatically come off once the withholding period disappears. So you can see here, my brother's done a few actions done a drenching action on a few different mobs. This is probably after shearing. So at home we've been busy with shearing. It's all finished now, and probably a bit late for the wool price increases. But anyway, we'll move on. So yeah, so all the compliance records, and that all links to the inventory. So you got your drenches, your vet mech jewels, or whatever you're using. You put it in your inventory, and then when you apply an action to a mob, you can drag it from those inventories, and it's as simple as this. So you're adding a mob action, you're saying what it is, the drench, and you're adding a product. So we can go from our animal health inventory, and then yeah, choose what we've been, choose what the inventory item in the batch that we're using for that particular mob, or those selection of mobs as well. All right, so another thing we're doing in Mobble is we're recording a lot of information on your grazing management as well. So I'll go down to some improved pastures down to the southern part of the property. And if I select the paddock, I can see some information here. I can see that these weathers have been in here for 6 days. In this paddock, I can see the average DSE per hectare over time. And there's a few just tidbits of information here. If you want to get more information, we can drill down. Go to paddock info. Here we get a complete history of the paddock. It even got spray records in here, fertilizer records, anything like that will be in here too. And that'll be summarized. You can see some fertilizer actions down here. This is a summary of those fertilizer actions. And yeah, we've got all these DSE reporting here. And we have all the stock units available, so you can change between DSE to LSU, AE if you're over in North America as well, SU in New Zealand. So we've got all those stock unit values, so you can change to the one you preferred. And you get this historic livestock graph too. And this is for any paddock, you can get this graph and see what livestock have been in that paddock over time. And you can sort of get a little bit of a deeper understanding and understand how densely stocked this paddock has been over time as well. So you can see, yeah, we're sort of coming into more of a rotational grazing period with our the growing season into spring with the grass that we're growing. So that average, that it's a 12-month rolling average, DC per hectare, and that's kind of like a performance value. And you can see that's up a little bit from last year. So the guys are doing a good job growing some grass at home, which is good. Yeah, so he's getting those sort of tidbits of information around your grazing management there. I'll also talk about sort of just using Mobble as like as a central place for your team. So on this property, we have my two brothers, myself, my dad, mum, a worker, all have access to Mobble, and they're updating records on the fly. So it's really great to have everyone involved in that way. And another thing that some people miss is we've got this other area you can add people into Mobble. You have people that are like third parties to Mobble that may have, benefit from access to the platform. So you can add in people like contractors and or farm advisors to Mobble. Now they get a specific view. So a contractor, for example, I'm pretty sure Mark, he's a roo shooter. For our place. So he's been invited in as a contractor, and what he'll see is only the map view. He won't see the totals of the livestock reconciliation reports or anything financial or anything like that. He'll just get the map view, and he can see what's going on the map. He can we able to see his location via GPS on his phone, and make sure he's in the right boundaries of the property and in the right paddocks. So yeah, that's one example of a third party that can have access to the app as well. Farm Advisor is a very highly used one as well. You can add your agronomist in or a livestock farm advisor in there as well, and your accountant. That's probably the three highest used ones. The accountant as well. They have access to your livestock reconciliation report. And talking about the livestock reconciliation report, it was requested as a question a little while ago of how this works. So as you're using Mobble over time, we're recording things like your natural increases, your casualties, your sales, your purchases. And your livestock numbers are changing, they're merging, and they're splitting, and you're editing them. And what we're doing every single day, we're taking a snapshot of your property, and then turning that into a report. And that report looks like this. Just take a second to load, it's bringing a lot of information in. So it'll give you the livestock numbers of your operation or your property over time. You can select multiple properties here, and get a concatenation of both of those properties in one view. And then you can also get, your DSE per hectare or stock units per hectare, and see how that's tracking over your whole operation, not just your paddocks, over this season versus last season. You can see it's starting to dip at the moment. It's been a little bit dry this winter, more than we'd like, so that probably could continue to dip that 12-month average there. Now I'll just select one property. And if I scroll down, I get the full livestock record. You get the starting head, natural increases, purchases, casualties, sold, closing head. And yeah, and if you're using Mobble daily and you're keeping these records up to date, this will be pretty accurate. But note, it doesn't factor in things like if you edit a mob or delete a mob, this won't reconcile 100%. And another thing we'd like to work on in the future is a transfer between property kind of field here as well. That's something that is definitely in our pipeline come early next year. But yeah, that would sort of round out the livestock reconciliation report and make it valuable for larger producers as well. Yeah. Yeah, going back to people management within Mobble. So for a second, it's very easy to add geolocational tasks and things to Mobble as well. Everything's done in Mobble by a big plus button down the bottom right. And you can add things like geolocational tasks into Mobble, leave it out the back willow banks here, and we could highlight that there's a leak in a pipe, something like that, as a reminder that someone to have a look at that. So it can be a real sort of task management tool for your operation as well. There's also a property chat feature there that can be used like a WhatsApp group, that some people find handy as well. If I keep going into the questions a little bit, a couple of the new features recently. One is the printable farm maps. We've made that a lot easier. So you can add your contractors and stuff into Mobble, but you can also print the farm map off if you need to, or a section of it. Now to do that, we go here. Now we want to get the map in a way, like presentable in a way that we want to print it. So usually what I like to do is put it on terrain view. I like to remove the mobs if that's not needed, remove even the map assets sometimes, and then get it ready to print. And you zoom into the area that you want to print. Maybe it's just like this area up here. Click here, map screenshot, and it'll take a moment and it'll download there exactly basically what this view is here. Yeah, you can send that to whoever's needed. You can print it off. So that's a new feature there. Another new feature is measuring. The measuring tool now has the ability to, measuring tool now has the ability to measure distances between map assets. So if I was measuring, say, from this gate here, let's go back to the satellite view. Measuring from this gate here along the laneway to the shed for a pipeline, I can do that via the measuring tool, and looks like this. I get to where it needs to get to, the edge of the shed here. And I can also use this snap to boundary feature here and drag the points even closer to the map asset, or even a fence line, just so you can make it a little bit more accurate as well. And in the bottom right corner, you'll get the total distance there. So you can help you planning with, say, materials for fence lines or pipelines, etc. All right. So another thing, there's been some questions around inventory in the past, and I'm just going to quickly go through how inventory works in Mobble. So a couple of things. So this is the inventory list. So everything in here is things that you may use semi-regularly. Now, my parents don't use it very well, so they've got things in negative and stuff like that, but we'll just ignore that for now. Before I get into that, if you've got multiple properties and you only got one inventory for animal health, you can share that inventory across properties. So this one's currently being shared with another property called Eaglehawk, for example, and then you can use all that inventory just across all your properties or a selection of your properties. So this is like an inventory list. And then if I go into one of these items, this is where I can store batches as well. So what we want to see is people adding in here inventory that they often use. So the information's pre-saved. And then when you come to adding, say, so we've got another batch of 5-in-1 that we've ordered, we can just press the 5-in-1 on the inventory item, add the batch in this way. We don't have to add that much information in here. We just have to add basically it's the batch ID and the quantity. These are optional. And then add new batch. And that will be added to the 5-in-1 there. We'll note that we're adding a feature where you can just take a photo of your batch as well, and that'll be available sort of towards the end of the year. So that'll save a fair bit of time in that way as well. So just highlighting inventories there and how that works in an ideal scenario. Some people find it a bit frustrating that you have to add in a batch every time. You can be a bit cheeky and just have one batch for everything if you want to. It's not as compliant, but if you want to save time and do it later, you can do it that way too, as well. Rainfall. And the last thing I was going to talk about before I open it up to questions is there's a couple of people on the call at the moment that are using another system currently, and they wanted to switch to Mobble because maybe it's simpler, easy to use, cheaper, I'm not sure. When we're moving from like an existing system to Mobble, we make that process really, really simple and easy. So one thing, we have a free trial. So it's 21 days, you get a free trial, and then when you call, we'll call you and see how you're going and what you need help with to get started. And we can be as hands-on or as hands-off as you like. So this kind of like explains, it's on the pricing page here, it kind of explains what we help do. So we can upload your map files. So if you've got an existing system, if you've got a map file already there, send it through to us. We can upload your maps so you've got that map straight away. We can also import your mob information as well, your livestock information. So if the livestock information is up to date in the current system, you send that through to us in a spreadsheet. We'll do that for you, and we can like upload that for you straight into Mobble. And what that'll do is just save you a heap of time. So you get something that looks like this from out of the gate, and you can start straight away. The other thing is if you're using another software provider, some people go like, oh, I don't want to stop using these ones until the end of the subscription period, and that might be months away. So what we do there is we actually give those people Mobble free until their subscription ends in their current system. So you're not doubling up with subscriptions. It's just like a bit of a bonus that we give people thinking about transitioning across, because we want you to get on the system and making use of it and getting a lot of value out of it. And we don't want that subscription period to be a hindrance. So we'll give you a free period for the end of your current subscription of another software as well. So there's been a few questions moving across to Mobble. And we basically make that process really easy. I just want to touch on that.
And just on that, Jock, sorry, Maddie, interrupting here, but we will do that data import at the beginning of your trial. So if you are interested, we put that in at the beginning, and then you can have your full 21 days with all your data in there, so you can get a really great understanding of how it works with your existing info.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Maddie. Thanks so much. Is there anything else I've missed, Maddie, or should we jump into questions?
Well, actually, on that, there has been a question. Nice to see Megan join us from New Zealand, and she was asking about cost structure. And I know in New Zealand, a setup fee is pretty common. So it'd be interesting to talk about our cost structure, whether it's a flat rate, how it's done by animal numbers, and so on.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, yeah, with Mobble, there's free setup and service. So there's no setup fee. I know that's pretty common in New Zealand. There's a free period. You get your free 21 days. We'll extend your trial if you need it as well. And we're pretty hands-on in getting you set up for free. And then once the trial ends, you can decide, there's no obligation. You can decide if you want to go ahead or not. There's cost structure in NZ. I'll just go to the NZ website. Is the same as AU. But it's based on how many people in your farming team, as you can see here, and your livestock maximums equivalents. So a couple of things coming up. So we're working, yeah, the dev team's doing an amazing amount of work at the moment. There's a few big projects in the works. So one of them is files and uploads across the app. So yeah, making Mobble more of the central place to record a lot of your farm and livestock information. So the first thing we'll be releasing there is uploading. You can upload sales invoices and ASDs and NVDs to Mobble, and then you'll be able to. And then from there, we'll be rolling that out across the app. So uploading a photo of a batch ID, uploading a photo to a task, uploading nearly anything you can imagine across nearly any part of the app, like photos of pasture improvements, photos of a cow with one leg, whatever you go wild, like whatever your imagination lets you think of, but you can upload in there. And it's having that as a central place to store all that information, all those records, and we'll summarize that as well. So yeah, it'll be pretty cool, and it'll slowly roll out coming from November onwards. So really excited about that. It's been like one of the most requested sort of initiatives ever. The other things we're working on is integration. So we've got a FarmBot integration we're really deep on. So we're going to use FarmBot here. You'll be able to see your FarmBot sensors within Mobble. A Farmo integration's in the works as well as improving our AgWorld integration there too. So there's some yeah, really big exciting pieces on the product. And we're also about to release a referral system as well. So yeah, one of the best ways we grow as a product and as a company is just the love people have for the product and refer it to other farmers. So we're going to help incentivize that and yeah, help the Mobbles that actually celebrate Mobble and send it around to their mates. They can make a bit of money from it and give them a bit of a discount as well. So that referral system will be coming out in the next month as well. So yeah, really excited about that and should be good. But that's what's coming up. Yeah, there's
One more question and then we might wrap it up, or we could just keep going, up to you guys. From Megan, she wants to know, can you add average weight of a mob if they've been weighed?
Yeah, you definitely can. There's work to be done on how average weights work and stuff like that. But via mob action, you can choose a weight action here, and then add the averages notes. Down the track pretty soon, well, down the track you'll be able to graph this out for the mob and then see those change over time. So at the moment it's like you see that you can get the record in there and then export it, extrapolate it any way you like. It's very simple. But yeah, I think we can do more on that. So yeah, good question. I think we better wrap it up, team. This has been great. So no, thanks everyone for coming along. We'll send the recording around as well.